Before we delve into the technical details and break down the official and formal definition, let's start by talking about how we use OAuth 2 in our daily routine and what concept lies behind it. You log into another application using your Google, Apple, or Facebook account. An official ID is a way for you to give permission to an application to access certain parts of your account, like your social media profile or emails, without sharing your login credentials, username, and password with that application. On the other hand, in practical life, users often resort to this approach when they simply wish to avoid creating a new login and password for an application they plan to use temporarily. From my perspective, users are likely not so concerned about which of their data remains hidden from the services and which becomes accessible. They are more focused on the convenience of not having to register multiple times. Before talking at an example of using OAuth, let's briefly summarize what it is. OAuth is like giving someone a special key to access a specific door in your house without giving them the main key to your entire house. OAuth works by allowing the application to get a limited access token from the services you are using, like Facebook or Google. This access token acts as a temporary and restricted key that lets the application access only the data or actions you have agreed upon. This keeps your main account safe while still letting you use other apps and services that need access to some of your information. Next, let's take a real-life example to illustrate how we counter OAuth 2 in our daily interactions. Ever used ChatGPT and noticed the option to sign in with your Google account? That's OAuth 2 at work. And it's not just limited to ChatGPT, this magic happens with numerous other apps that offer the sign in with Google, Facebook, etc. options. When you click into that button, you are essentially giving ChatGPT permission to access some of your Google account information. Let's change language to English. Usually just enough to verify your identity. In case of Google, it's your name, email address, language preference, and profile pics. Let's proceed with login. I'm already logged in my Google account, so I don't do it twice. I just confirm the consent. And we are successfully logged into ChatGPT. It's a win-win. You get easy access without the hassle of another username and password, and ChatGPT gets a note of approval from Google that you are a legitimate user. With that in mind, let's now move on to breaking down the component of OAuth and unraveling its inner workings. The first component is resource owner. This is a user who owns the account or resources that another application wants to access. In our example, this is you, the user who wants to log into ChatGPT using your Google account. The second component is a client. The client is the application that wants to access the user's resources. In this case, ChatGPT is the client which wants to access some of your Google account information. The next component is authorization server. Google, in this case, is the authorization server. It's responsible for verifying the identity for the user, you, and issuing access token for the client, ChatGPT, after the user grants permission. Resource server. Google's server where your data is stored is a resource server. It holds the data that ChatGPT wants to access with access token. Access token is like a special key that ChatGPT gets from Google. It's a temporary, limited-use key that proves ChatGPT has your permission to access certain data from your Google account. In this section, we are going to zoom in on a specific component of Open Authorization 2 known as the authorization code flow. The process of logging into the ChatGPT platform using a Google account is a perfect demonstration of the authorization code flow. So buckle up as we unravel the intricacies of this part of 2 standard. Here's how it works. You visit ChatGPT and click on the Sign in with Google option. ChatGPT, the client, sends a request to Google, the authorization server, asking for permission to access your Google account data. Google asks you to log in and then asks if you want to grant permission to ChatGPT to access your data. If you agree, Google generate an access token and set it back to ChatGPT. ChatGPT can now use the access token to make a request to Google's server, the resource server, on your behalf. Google will check the token to ensure it's valid and has the necessary permission. ChatGPT can access your Google data as long as the access token is valid. This way, your Google login credential, like your email and password, are never shared with ChatGPT. Instead, it uses the access token to access your data securely and with your permission. Now that we have delved into the practical aspects of Optimization 2 and dissected its fundamental components, let's take a moment to establish a clear and simple formal definition. In essence, OAuth 2 is a standardized authorization framework that enables a part application to access resources on behalf of a user without exposing their credentials. It provides a secure and efficient way to grant limited access, ensuring the user data remains protected. In more technical terms, OAuth 2 defines a set of roles, protocols, and endpoints that facilitate the secure change of token, allowing an application to gain authorized access to the user's data. The beauty of OAuth 2 lies in its simplicity and versatility, making it a cornerstone of authentication and authorization process on the Internet. I hope that after watching this video you will be able to articulate in your own words what OAuth 2 is and have a clear understanding of its concept. Feel free to share your insight or ask any question in the comment below. Happy learning!